Okay then, we had a little disaster yesterday. The SD card on the sports camera messed up, corrupted. Luckily we have a spare one, but that's not the point. The idea was I was going to do one on the painting of the cellar and show you how everything was done. Like moving all the stuff out here next door, things like this. The bit of scraping on the wall, the actual brushing down of the walls, all the rest of it. Lost all the material. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through it with you next door in that cellar, basically what we did with the walls, just to show you what the walls were like before we painted it and bring you up to speed and actually what's happened and transpired, because we've run out of material. It actually took 10 litres of paint just in here to actually paint this place out, and it's still not quite finished yet. Of course it is going to need a second coat. You've got to see, where did all the paint go? Well, it went into the wall somewhere and on the floor, and I'll show you that one too. So anyway, let's go next door and let's have a look next door at what the walls were like in here. Well, some of the walls anyway. And show you, like, explain to you about the brushing down and everything and where we're up to. Because I'm not going to give up on this one, and I don't see why I should. Right. As you can see, roughly this is how the walls looked like in here. And that's how the walls looked like next door in the other room. Of course, it's such a mess in here now because everything from next door, well, not everything, the majority of stuff from next door got dumped in here, you see. And of course this is what we were faced with when we started on there. So we had to brush all the walls down first of all, get rid of all the dust and everything from it. So then, after that, was a big job of painting. So of course, when we came to these walls here, because they're so rough, well, this one here in front of us wasn't too bad actually, to actually paint up. And of course, they should have used the brushes to start with, but didn't. They decided to use the rollers, and of course the rollers are actually masonry rollers, and they're quite thick rollers, which annoyed me because it meant they were going to have to be cleaned up afterwards. I'll show you a bit more. Of course, if we look down here, you see, they managed to leave a piece of wood on the wall which should have been taken off. But of course, if you look across here, this is where they were trying roller, and of course it was a bit too late later on, and I'll show you what happened when they actually switched and went to the paintbrush now. Because as I said, I mean, this is going to have a bit of filler popped into it, and that's what we're going to have to wait for. And down here is where we actually ran out of paint, just down here. And this is what the walls were like down here, a total and utter mess. But of course, being boys, they wouldn't listen, and they said, no, we're going to use the roller, Dad. And I'm saying, no, you'll have to brush it. So anyway, I gave up and let them go on with it, let them find out the hard way, and this is what happened. So if we look across here, we can see some of the gaps and the holes that should have been filled in the first place. But of course we wanted to find out what bits needed all filling in. So I think it's quite clear now what bits all need filling in. So when my dad comes down from Scotland in a few days' time, we'll get the filler, we'll get more paint, and we'll start from scratch. And of course they seem to have missed this bit here where the meter was, typical. And the other thing was, let's go and look down on the ground. I wasn't going to paint this thing that somebody put in for a damp proof course, which is a total waste of time. So, and as you can see, if you look carefully, paint all over the floor, and was that a mega clean-up job. However, we'll get that sorted out the next time around. It'll be bigger rolling trays, and when the roller is used after the next coat is brushed on, hopefully it'll be a lot better. So, as you see, a little bit of a mess. Not too bad really. I mean, they did the best they could, just that they should have started with the brushes and left the rollers alone. And I'll show you the rollers, and I'll also show you how we had to clean the rollers as well. And I'll show you how the rollers came out after that, and how the brushes came out as well, and I'll explain more about that. So I'm going to take off upstairs now and go and show you now how they came out. See, I told you it was extreme. There's one of the rollers there, you can see it going round in the washing machine. Yeah, well, you can tell I'm not married. The wife would have a fit if I did something like that. Anyway, let's get on, there's something else to be done. Now, it is fair to say that we did get most of the paint out with the rollers and the brushes. Yeah, the brushes were in there too. We just said we're never going to get all the paint out of there and get them right sorted out. There were only cheap rollers, there were only no nonsense rollers. They came with a tray and a brush, and I'll show you the rollers just to prove to you that they did actually succeed. Look, nice and fluffy rollers, see? Yeah, see? And I must admit they're okay. Look, binoculars anyway. So they came out okay, but I'm afraid to say the brushes didn't. They're still usable, but I think I'll buy some new ones. To be honest with you, we still got one of these ones left. Look at it, here you be. Mind you, I could probably get away with that. Look, look at the head of here. What do you think? Anyway, we'll still use them. But the goose, I think, will just go in the bin. We'll buy some more. And as I said, the rollers themselves were no nonsense rollers from Screwfix Masonry. They came with a tray, which wasn't really big enough, to be honest with you, with it. They came with this brush here. Ooh, sorry. Came with this brush. Actually, the brush is pretty good, I must admit. It did very well, actually, did that. I was surprised how well it did. But, well, there you have it. And by the way, the rollers that actually go on with these are actually pretty good rollers as well. They were £9 each, of course, and this is why we weren't wasting them. I said, no, they're getting cleaned. I think the cleaning of them took quite some time because they hold a lot of paint. And of course, we had to stick them in the washing machine at the end of the day to get them finally cleaned. So, as I said, the next time you see us, we'll be in the cellar and we'll be filling in the gaps down there. Whereas if they just went over quickly with a brush, we could have sorted it out, we'd have known where we were going. But they tried to use the roller, and that's why the floor got in a mess, because they were trying to get as much paint on the roller as they could to get out of the gaps. Didn't work, and they ended up with paint everywhere. Whereas if they just took their time, used the brushes, it'd have been fine. So that's enough of that. So you can see what's happening in the cellar. So when my dad's be down, we'll get the stuff, and that'll be it. Job will be a good one, and we'll take it through there, and you'll get to see them actually working. Okay. Right, back in the cellar. This time a quick demonstration on how to open a mastic tube and put it in the gun. Right, first of all, some people, right, after cutting this bit off at the end, do that with them and put them on, screw them. Not with time. Get rid of that bit to start with. This here. Right, take your box opening knife. Very carefully, keep your fingers out of the way. Get rid of that, because we're going to be reusing this again. If we have to put a new tube in, right? So now we take our tube. Wait a minute, no we don't. We take this piece here and we cut it at an angle. Now watch. Why do we do this? Because that hole's too small, and as it comes out like a little worm, we don't want that. You open them up, and it is the proper way to do it. And you do it at an angle. Right? And this is done with your box opening knife, aka Stanley knife. In this house they're all Stanley knives, doesn't matter what make they are, they're all Stanley knives. Right? Just trim off that so it's nice and round, being careful that you don't cut your fingers. Right, that's that bit done. Put this bit down. Right, take this, and again, very carefully, keep your hands out of the way, press down, just move it backwards and forward, it'll soon cut in. Very carefully, light rotation. Come on, and again, come on, cut. Some are easier than others. This is one, it's hard plastic. Come on, cut. The reason why I'm doing it carefully and slowly is because I don't want to cut myself. There we go. Not a very good cut, but I don't know about that. Anyway, don't matter. Right, we've done that. Now we take our gun. This is a long one with longer tubes. That's because sometimes you have the longer tubes, right? Then let's gently squeeze it up. Now, if say I was using the end, reusing the end by using a new tube, bring it up like this because you've got fluid inside there. So when you push it on, by doing that, you stop the air bubble from happening, so when you squeeze it out it doesn't go pop and you end up with bits and pieces everywhere. Then screw this on like this, nice and tight. Yeah, rotate it round. You can rotate this to your angles that you need them and all the rest of it if you have to. Nice and gently squeeze up, gently, don't rush it. Don't start coming out the end. Come on. We're coming soon, there we go. And there we are, right? Do that and lock it off. Now I'll show you how we fill the gaps in. But before that, I'll just go back over one thing. If say I was going to be changing the tube, right, the new one, you keep the end, and when you put your new tube at the gun, before you put this on, give it a little squeeze up, like so. Come on, like that, so it comes up. So as I say, when you put this back on again, you won't get that air bubble and it won't go pop. Well, hopefully you shouldn't. It takes a bit of practice, but you will get used to it. Right, now I'm going to show you now about filling in the gaps. Right then, now we're going to fill in some of these gaps here. Right, what you do is, you take your gun and you just do this. Fill them in like so. Like that. Like this. Got a big one, so we'll give this one a bit more. Oops, fell out. That's all you really have to do. Don't put too high on that one. There we are. Put a bit dirt in that one. What you should have is a cloth as well to wipe the end sometimes, because it does get a bit clogged up to the ends. And that's basically all the boys will be doing next, is this. And it makes life a lot easier because we know now which ones to actually fill in. Don't know if I'm out of camera on that one. And it doesn't take too long to do it. And when it's painted up, you'll never see it. We've done this loads of times, and as I said, you never see it. And that's basically how easy it is. Look at that one now, a bit better. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how simple it actually is. So I'll switch this off. I want to find the off switch. Oh, here it is here. Right, and I'll go away and get the boys and get them started. Right now I've finished this tube, completely and utterly finished. I'll show you what I was going on about. Right, take that one out. Put this on, let's say, so it doesn't fall. Right, put that one there just now. It's always handy to keep these. You never know, because if you don't finish the tube, I'll show you why. You can melt the end of this, right? And if you haven't actually finished the tube, you can stick it in there like so, and it'll keep it fresh for a while. Not all of the, not for too long anyway. Right, let's get rid of that. Right. So we take our new tube here with our box opening knife, aka Stanley knife. As I said, we're all Stanley knives in this house. Same again, right? Remembering that sometimes the plastics in these are softer and harder. This is a quite hard plastic. See what I mean? It's okay. Slap my finger, didn't cut. That's what you got to be careful of. Right, take this off. No, don't. Come on, don't get away with yourself. Stay. Pop this in here like so. Push that into place. And as I said, lift it up a bit. It's about enough, right? Unscrew this one. Stay. Right, and then just screw that back on top like so. And there you are, you haven't wasted any. And that's it, you are ready to go again. Just make sure. See, there we are, it's coming up, no problem at all. And there you are, that's how easy it is. Leave that there, and now, as I say, I'll go away and get the boys. Okay then, you happy with that? Ah, there it is. Right, finally we get on with the gap filling in. Oh dear, I think he dropped something on the floor. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, look. Oh, calamity. Yeah, well, accidents happen. Yeah, so actually yesterday when I was out with my dad, the boys actually did start down here. So they're way in front now. And I thought, well, it's a bit late. They thought I'd cancelled the filming of this paint the cellar. But it was my fault. I should have reminded them that no, I changed my mind. That's what happens sometimes. Lack of communication. So while he's doing this up here, getting that bit sorted out, I'll go around the other side. Oh look what's come in, look, a cute moment, look. It's a little dog. Yes, the dog's helping us in the cellar too. Not quite sure what she's doing, but she's doing something. Yeah, right. Okay, we're going to see what the other son's doing. And here you can see my other son filling in the gaps on this side now, on the lower side. And you can see some of them are quite extensive to actually fill in. But however, that's just part of life. And I'm trying to do this so I can keep the light in it. The light in this side of the room is absolutely atrocious. Yeah. And that's it, then after that, quick scrape down. And that's it. That's how simple it is. But as I said, it's got to take a bit of time to get this done. So, we'll let them get on with it for the time being. And I'll go on away and do something else. I know what we could do with the dog. We could use it as a paintbrush, couldn't we? Dip in the paint pot and paint the walls with. What do you think, Gergie? Eh? What have you found? What are you chewing on now? Huh? Okay. Well, we managed to get this far, but unfortunately now we're out of filler. So we're going to have to go away and get more. Not to worry, it won't take us too long to get it though. So I guess that's us for today in here, I guess. Right then, time to stir up some paint. So, well, we'll paint stirring thing here, right? Get this thing in here and out. Making sure that we're on the flats, which we are. Tighten it down good, make sure you're in screwdriver mode. Not screwdriver mode, sorry, drill mode. Probably would work in screwdriver mode if you had higher torque settings. And speed 1. There's a reason for that. And I'll probably show you that. And before I start this off, I'm actually going to bring the camera in a bit closer. And the idea is, when this is turning around, you've got to actually pull it up and down like this. You see? So what you're doing is, the thicker stuff at the bottom, you're bringing it up to mix it. It helps mix it in a bit easier if you do it this way. And the reason why we don't do it on full speed is because if the paint's a bit on the runny side, you can start it spinning round in the inside and it'll come up over the edges. Another thing you don't do is when you pull it out, you don't spin it like that, because if you do, you end up throwing it everywhere. And yes, I've seen that one done too as well. I've seen it actually happen in all directions with this one. So what I'll do is, before I start this, I'll bring the camera in and I'll actually show you actually working up and down. The drill's a bit noisy, but you gotta put up with some things, like you can't have everything quiet, I suppose. So what I'll do is, I'll switch this off now and bring it in. So we've covered it, drill mode, speed 1, and you move it up and down like this. And of course, there is some paint out of this because the boys did a little bit of painting last night over there in the corner, which I'll show you as well. So it's actually dropped, but when I did a recording, I actually cut my head off, and I thought, well, fine, I thought I'm not having that. So okay, we'll get this sorted out. Move this in. Right then. So the idea is, you've got the drill working, and you work it around like that, and you pull it up and down like so. You see? And this paint's pretty thick, so I'll get away with the next bit when I show you the experiment. So all you do is get ready. Here's the noise. Right, so you get the idea, that's what you've got to do, you see, and you can go this way around as well. You see, and do it that way. And look, a little air bubble and it's not even going fast. Right, so this is what happens when you do it on full speed. Right, luckily this paint's pretty thick, so we should get away with it. You ready? Got an air bubble in there. See? You see that air bubble? That quick pop that happened, that actually put an air bubble in there, and it also caused a lot of oscillation on this as well. Another air bubble. Nope, another air bubble. You see what I mean? It's sucking air into it and it causes a lot of problems. And if this wasn't as thick as what it was, it could have actually splattered and you get bits of paint flying off in all directions. Now in the cellar that doesn't matter, but if you're in somebody's house and you were near a wall that didn't need painting and you threw paint on it, not a good idea. So the next problem is, you see, you've got a lot of paint on there. And I've seen it done. Somebody thought I'd just shake all the paint off it by activating the drill. And guess what? Paint went everywhere. Nice mess to clean up. But that's what happens. Some people just haven't got the intelligence. Right then, I've showed you that. So now I'm going to wait and I'm going to show you something else. Right now I'm going to show you something that we did that you're not supposed to do with this wall. Right. On. Oh, I wonder if we can see that. Yeah, we can just about see that. Now, I'm trying to see if you can see this laser line on the camera. Right, well you can. I'll see how it comes out and I might scrap this if it doesn't work out. All along there where that line is, like that, in that motion, like so, all that area there was damp. You're not supposed to put paint on top of damp walls. What will happen is when the dampness comes out with it, the paint will disappear, it'll come off. It won't actually stick to it, it'll dry up and fall off. Well, we know that, but this is just to get things moving along. Because we're not bothered about that. I'm not bothered if I have to repaint now, or the boys have to repaint it. It's just one of these things. We want to get things moving, and it does actually help dry out, because masonry paint breathes, it lets water come out. But this is actually dried out better than what we actually thought. So what I hope is it will dry and it won't come off. Now I'm going to show you a little disaster what somebody else did. Now what the disaster here was, years ago, to stop the dampness from coming through the wall, this wall goes out to the actual main street out there, and it's all soiled in there up to about that level there, I think. So what they decided to do was paint it with this black rubber stuff, thinking that'll stop the dampness from coming through. But the problem is, with stopping the dampness from coming through, the wall doesn't breathe. And as the wall behind it is cold and stays cold, any condensation in the air condenses on that cold wall there and it starts running with water. Now, the reason why this wall looks such a mess is because the black stuff, when we're painting on it, is starting to come off and it's making a royal mess. We originally painted this wall brown so that we can help blend in white a lot better. Whether it's going to work or not, we don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow when we're in here painting, if we get that far. So now we'll move to the other main disaster wall. Right, on this wall here, up from that level there up to about there, I had all my bike wheels on that part of the wall there, up to about there, and that bit there is actually soaking wet. But guess what? It's dried out, the paint. Unbelievable. Well, saying dried out, tomorrow it will be dry. But then again, we've got this Siberian winter coming in through Russia. Yeah, the Russians love to share things, don't they? They're lovely weather. And I'm not looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be even harder to dry paint in here. But anyway, this wall was also slightly damp up there, but it was really damp down here. But the thing is, this wall, which wasn't damp on this side, is actually taking longer to dry than this one here. This one did no problem at all. And if we just look very gently over here, which we can see it, This bit here, I messed about with what paint was left in the brush, and I painted that white to see how the brown here was actually going to cover, because that brown colour went all over there as well. We just wasted it basically. So I would say up till now we've used about 12 litres of paint in this room. Yeah, 12 litres of paint, that's a lot of paint. So anyway, we've got this to do as well, so it looks like the white's going to cover it no problem. I'm just hoping that it actually does cover the black stuff and it doesn't start coming off the wall. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see till tomorrow. Right then, I guess it's self-explanatory what's going on here. Now we're getting on with the painting now. What we're going to try and do, because the paint doesn't dry very quickly down here because it's so cold, we're going to go over this bit here to see whether or not we can actually get a decent layer of paint onto this wall there in front. So we can then see if we've got any problems trying to cover over that black stuff that was on the wall in front. And my other son on the left here, he's going over and finishing all the bits that we missed, the edging, because we missed quite a lot. And then after that we'll take it through there, whether or not, how we're going to put the final coat on, whether we'll have to brush it, roller it, so forth, or do a bit of both roller and brush, because we don't know yet. I know this job's taken a long time, but 45 years basically we worked this out, that nothing was done in this cellar because of the water problem. Well, as I say, Rome wasn't built in a day. This cellar isn't going to get painted in a day either. Right then, I'm going to leave them, let them get on with it. We've got a good look at this now, how it's looking now. And then when they're finished, we'll then look at it again. And hopefully this time around, one of the other sons won't drop the paintbrush in the paint bucket this time, which has already happened. Anyway, let's leave them and let them get on with it. Well then, now you can see quite an improvement today. That's what we've done. We've done all that and all the way around there to basically just to the meter wall, because the wall around there, this one here, right, isn't actually quite as dry as we would have liked. So it's still wet just around the corner, as I showed you the last time. Although it's tacky now. And of course we've edged in, and of course up round here we've done all the edging up here as well. You can see all that's been edged in now, but we're going to have to give another coat to all that, all the way down there and all the way along there. So I'll redo that again. I was busy watching the line up there like that. All that area will have to have a second coat on it. Sorry, a third coat. No, I mean, so it's a lot better than what it was. As I said, we went all the way around there. So we've left that bit there. We might do that tomorrow. And of course, if we come around here quickly, we did all this edging here. All that's been done. We painted all this around here today as well, and up, you know, up and over there, and all along there. We've done this bit here and there, right, and there, and all the way along here as well, and of course up round the light switch as well. So yeah, it was a pretty good day today. We got on actually and did quite a bit. Even I was in here doing a little bit as well, so why not? But unfortunately we missed a tiny little bit just there. Let's see if we can see that. And I'll take you over to the other wall as well. Yeah, it does show up on the camera. There, just a slight miss just there, And of course this bit here has been missed as well, but well, you can't have everything. So next on the list is this wall here, right? We'll do that one. We just want to see how far the paint's going to go with what the main wall's doing, because we can let that one go. Because it's not too bad actually. It's not brilliant, but I mean I've got other white paint I can use on that wall if need be. And of course we missed a bit just there as well. That was me by the way, I missed that bit. And I'll take you in for a closer look now and see if we can see what was there. Yeah, that bit there. That's the black stuff still coming through underneath. I see. And of course I'm using a selfie stick here, if you're wondering. So there you are. And that's what we're to do. Oh, the point shadows in the way now. That's the light. Right, so I think we'll call that quits now, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow on it then. Okay then. Well, we've had another little calamity. a misunderstanding between me and my son, in the sense he didn't quite understand what I said. I said, go downstairs and check over the paint while me and my other son was out. And what he's done is, he went away ahead, in this wall here, which had only up to 2 coats, which was part of the last recording that I did in it, he went ahead and he actually painted all this again. He painted all this, oh there's it, tripping up a bit here, more. He painted all round here, right? Did a little bit of fixing up over there actually, but didn't need much, right? So all this here has had basically now 3 coats. And if you look carefully, you can still see the little brown bits just and so coming through. Although this wall has dried, and I'm quite surprised at that. He told us last night, around about 10 o'clock at night, that, oh, I painted that wall down there. And he says, yeah, we'll need to get more paint because I've used all that as well. And I'm going, what? You've used all the paint? Yep. So this cellar, up till now, all the way around here, I can't go there because the light, I can see the edge of the light coming in, right, has had roughly 22 litres of paint, because we actually started with an extra 2 litres of brown stuff which we put on this wall, right, just to give it a quick covering. And now I'm going to have to wait till my dad comes down, and I'll show you the paint pots just now. I'll switch this thing off, otherwise the light will dazzle out. See, there you are. All them paint pots are all basically empty now. And the one over there, that was, we used that for carrying paint around. Mind you, as I got to say, it was 45 years of neglect, really. Like, it's not surprising the walls are soaking up the paint, and the walls are rough, so you're bound to use more paint. So we'll just wait till my dad gets down and we'll go away and get some more paint then. Okay then? Well, we've got some new paint now. Me and my dad were up at Wicks and we noticed some special value pack Dulax Trade Weather Shield smooth masonry paint, 15-year all-weather protection. And of course we have got the no-nonsense paint. Not that we think it's rubbish, we just thought we'd try out the new stuff. It was pretty cheap, it's £20, but we only got 7.5 litres though. I know, the no-nonsense trade would have been better. It's £24 and you get 10 litres. So anyway, I'm going to start getting this stuff mixed up now, okay? Well, if you remember what I said the last time we were mixing up paint, and about actually having it going at full speed rather than having it on its first speed setting, and I splashed paint, and I did splash paint, it got onto me, some of the wheels over here. So we've probably got the wall, but it also got the camera stand as well. So don't do these at full speed. Turn them down at the low speed and mix the paint nice and steady. Okay, I'll get this done now and then I'll start getting the boys ready to get the painting done. Actually, it's quite nice thick paint this. I think it's a bit thicker than the no-nonsense paint actually, to be honest with you. Oh, I've made a mistake here, never mind. We'll sort it out. Should take it off the stick first. I'll do that now. Pop that down there. There we go. Oh, my back. Right. That's all you do. You just wipe off the excess with your brush. And it washes off because it's emulsion. It just washes away. And as I say, it's rather a nice thick paint this. You see any difference in the whiteness? That's no nonsense. And as I say, it seems a bit thicker as well. So we'll see how it goes anyway. Right then, where's my off button? I'll get my crutch and I'm going to get this thing cleaned up. And I'll get the boys too. Well then, I went out with my dad. I came back and look how well the boys have done. They've actually raced on. They've got all inside there now sorted out, that little bit. They're on the last final bit there. They've done all that, painted all there, went all the way along the edge, and now they've moved everything in front of the wall that they painted first, which was across there. Well, we'll just have to look at it eventually once everything's put back. But I must admit, very nice and very bright. Well, finally, the cellar is now actually painted, as you can see. And you must admit, the boys certainly haven't half done a very, very, very good job. In fact, it's so good, I have to admit, I don't think I could have actually have done it myself, to be honest with you. And looking at it, it is rather impressive. And I would never have thought it was going to come out as good as what it actually has come out. And on top of this, it was 29.5 litres of paint went into this room. The tub that the boys were using yesterday, this one here, is actually emptied, and that was actually 7.5 litres in this one, and it's all gone, every last bit of it. Admittedly, the edges round the edge there, I'll try and get in a bit here. If you look down there on the floor, no, you can't really see it now because we had to bring everything back in. We spent most of the morning doing that. Oop. Anyway, it's been fun, and not only this, we don't seem to be losing any more of the paint off the walls anyway, so that's a good thing, that's a plus sign. So we're hoping now that the paint stays on the wall. Only time will tell. Yes, admittedly, the majority of the walls all got 3 coats, barring, wait for it, I'll spin you around again, nice and steady. Yes, this wall behind me here, that was the only wall that got 2. All the rest did get 3. And especially the bad wall across here behind me, that got 3 coats on it. Mind you, that was a bit of an accident, that was a misunderstanding between me and one of my sons. And as I said, it came out absolutely fantastic, so only time will tell. And we'll just wait and see. I'll keep you updated and posted basically by what's going on then. So, I'm going to get on with the next job, which is lowering this table here on this machine, because then I can set it a bit lower. It's too high. I broke my other chair, didn't I? Okay then, bye now.